What's going on, everybody? It's Afro Think Tank. Listen, African Americans, I need you to know something. I'm going to try to be as clear as possible. You're awesome, okay? You're great, and you don't know how great you are because the Europeans made sure to destroy everything about your history, okay? You are not even being allowed to understand the things that you should be proud of. You see, they've spent a lot of money and time making West Africa look like it was the most undeveloped part of Africa. They make you think that Africans, before the Europeans came, would just bounce around in loincloth and stuff like that. But keep in mind, they stole all of our stuff. You want to know why they stole all of our stuff in Africa? You want to know? It's because when they went to West Africa, they saw something greater than Egypt. Did you hear what I just said? That's why I keep telling y'all keep concentrating on West Africa like them pyramids was the end all be all, like it was the peak of African civilization, but it wasn't. We were peaking do you understand the Great Wall of Benin was greater than any Egyptian pyramid? Do you realize that? Do you realize our cities were greater than any goddamn Roman city that you ever seen on any movie? I'm talking about in Nigeria. Y'all really don't understand what the white people did in 500 years. It took 500 years for them to destroy it. 500, you need to visualize this shit. They took 500 years to destroy one of the most technologically advanced societies on this planet. And then they spent that time telling the most technologically advanced people on the planet that they ain't shit. Okay? I'm talking about the great city of Benin. The Empire of Benin. That's just one of many in West Africa that we had. But in particular, I want to talk about the Great Wall of Benin that make the Great Wall of China look like nothing. When you think about China, you think about that big ass wall, don't you? That big wall that didn't work, because that shit didn't work, because the Mongols straight went over the top of that sumbitch. All right, that shit did not work. But the Great Wall of Benin did. The Great Wall of Benin was much bigger than that Chinese wall. Hey, I'm talking about we were much grander. Do you see the clothes that African people wear? I need you to place that in something grand. I need you to visualize how grand your actual ancestors were not even 600 years. We're talking about the 1500s. When them white folks came around on them fucking ships and saw West Africa was more advanced than Egypt, they couldn't take that shit. They destroyed it the same way they destroy everything we ever built. You ever wonder why they stop us from building? You ever wonder why black success is a danger to them? You ever wonder why when we mind our own business and do our own thing, they get scared and intimidated? You ever wonder? Because they know exactly. See, you don't know. Because in your schools, they don't teach you. But in them white schools, they teach them how great we were. And they teach them, don't allow us to do that shit again. Don't give us no space to be great. And even so, we were still great. Even under slavery, we was inventing shit. We can't help it but to be excellent. We can't help it but to invent all the advanced shit that we all enjoy today. We can't help it because that's who we are naturally. You really I'm telling you, if you knew your West African history, you wouldn't skip Egypt. You wouldn't skip and go straight to Egypt. The only reason people skip and go straight to Egypt because y'all believe that Egypt was the crest of advanced society in Africa. You believe that Egypt was the creme de la creme of African society. So you skip there because you're looking for pride. You're looking for something to be proud about because a lot of y'all are not proud about your African heritage because you don't know it. You don't know it. Don't you understand that the Catholic Church, all their grandeur, are just emulating us with all their gold and their jewelry and their endowments? They're emulating us. Like, we are so great. Our history is so great. If you knew it, you wouldn't just stop your lineage at slavery. That's not your damn lineage. We talking about you would never have stopped your lineage at slavery if you knew who you was. If you knew how absolutely great you were. So when does African society, we don't digress. So you think we left Egypt, right? Because all of the tribes of Nigeria, all of them, who are they're baby tribes of older tribes, of mama tribes, of papa tribes, right? And when I say tribe, I'm talking great nations. So do you think that us African people left Egypt when, the desertification came? Because that's why we left. We weren't about to fight for that desert. We wasn't about to fight them damn Arabs and them goddamn well, we did whoop the Persians' ass. But we wasn't about to fight them goddamn Bedouin tribes who are barbaric savages for some desert. All we had to do, we just went back home. You think we regressed technologically? You think we forgot how to build? Have you not seen Africa's great megalithic structures in the center and the south of Africa? You don't think we did it in West Africa too? All of our great empires were grand, on a grand scale. Look, I've been to Italy. I've been to these places with their little coliseums. You know how they make them look so big and grand over there? That shit ain't that. That shit don't look like that. I seen that shit. I was like, that's a coliseum? That little ass thing? That ain't shit compared to the stuff we built. European history is fake. Even they tried to, first of all, the Romans wouldn't consider themselves Europeans, but even they shit wasn't as grand as they have you believe on TV. All that Hollywood shit is fake. They're faking. It's a lie. That shit was 10 times smaller than the shit they show you on TV. Because you're convinced that them people was great like that. No, you convinced. But it was never like that. Just scale that shit down about 10 times. And scale all of our shit up like 20 times. And that's the truth. That's when you start finding truth. They're so intimidated, they won't even show you how big Africa is on the map. You don't even know how big Africa is. When I say Africa is the world, it literally is the world. They even got the globe upside down. Europe is below us. Europe is below us, not above us. But they put themselves above us and they made their little small ass countries and peninsulas look big. But in actuality, they're small like little islands. Small like little coasts. And Africa is massive. It's even the maps makes Africa look massive, but it's still 4 times smaller on that map than it really is. And us Nigerians who live in America, who are called African Americans, we come from great kingdom. We talking about massive walls. When I say longer, bigger, more advanced than the Great Wall of China, I'm talking about more grander, more massive than those pyramids that we love so much. You think the pyramid was the height of black technological advancement? No, it wasn't. It was just one of the many things that we did. But we had that, and we had that here. And they had to destroy it. You know why? You know the main reason they had to destroy it? What do? They spend time, because Egypt is right there in the Mediterranean. So they spend time trying to pretend like these people are mythological creatures that disappeared, right? They spend time trying to find some mummy that could say that at least some of these people are not African. They spend time and waste so much energy trying to keep the true history of African people in North Africa because it's close enough to the Mediterranean. They have a little bit of plausible deniability, or they can muddy the waters up just a little bit to try to hold on to what they want to believe, because they need all that area to be white so they can justify their Christianity and their barbaric savage ways. But you see, they can't do that shit in West Africa. They can't do that shit in Nigeria. There's no way they can say anybody other than a black African Bantu black man built that shit. So you know what they did? Instead of trying to lie and say white man did it, which they thought about it, by the way. Keep in mind, they thought about it, by the way. They tried to say, oh, maybe some mythological white group of people came and did this and then left somehow, right? They did that shit in Great Zimbabwe. They tried to say that the kingdom of Great Zimbabwe was built by some lost European tribe that came all the way from Europe to Africa, built it and then disappeared. This is how fucking sick these Europeans are. This is how sick they are. So because they couldn't make up some far-fetched story about some European coming here, doing it and leaving, guess what they did? They just fucking destroyed it and stole the rest. That's why Nigeria is just now getting back some of their artifacts from these European savage barbarians. Look how beautifully dressed our warriors used to be. When you think about West Africa, when you think about Nigeria, you need to be thinking about things on a grand scale, like you know how, have you watched a Korean movie? Right? When they're talking about their feudal times, when they're you know, where you got the Joseon Empire. When you see the Joseon Empire of the Korean movies, that was basically that was us. That's the Korean version of what we had going on. Just as prestigious, just as organized, but way more developed. You see how the Japanese represent their feudal empires back in their feudal lord days? That was us, but just more prestigious, more grandiose. And they can't take that shit at all. And that's what they spent all that time hiding that from you and telling you ain't shit. You want to talk about some Bible? Let me tell you something. The story what the white man did to us is more fantastical than anything in that goddamn Bible. Huh? You want to talk about the great kingdom of Nuri? Do y'all keep calling them Jews? When they're real, they not Jew. You never was a Hebrew Israelite. There was no Hebrew Israelite. That shit never actually ever existed in the actual real world. And that's what I keep trying to tell you. But you are those people. Listen to what I said. There were never any Hebrew Israelites. That shit never happened in the real world, but you are those people. And you're called the Nori. The Nori. N-R-I. That's what you are. N-R-I. I think I'm spelling it right. Nori. The I sounds like an E. The great priest kingdom. The great priest kingdom of the I think you would call them the Igbos right now. And guess who the Igbos are? 80% of the Africans taken out of the transatlantic slave trade were Igbos. 80%. 80% of the Americans are Igbos. Descendant of the Nori. From the great kingdoms, the great priest kingdoms. And the Igbos and the Yorubas. All are brothers and sisters from a greater Oyo and Elaife. You guys, I'm telling you, if you guys are looking for pride, you got to dig in your history. And I don't blame all of you guys because it's not like they taught us that shit in school. They didn't teach us that shit in school. You know, we don't know. That's not something that's naturally in our lexicon. They taught us European fake history. But you need to learn your African history. Even the Nigerians, some Nigerians don't know how great they are. You think they just didn't teach us? No, they made sure to destroy it so these people can't see it. So that the Nigerians don't know how great they are, but they do. A lot of them who are still within the traditions, a lot of them, they understand, they know. They just don't have the finances to rebuild it. Why? Because it was stolen by barbaric fucking Viking savages. Because that's who the Europeans are. All of Britain, all of Norway, all of Denmark, all of France, ain't nothing but a bunch of Visigoth, nasty, disgusting ass, savage barbarians. All they do is destroy. They destroyed Greece. They destroyed Rome. They destroy everything. They don't know how to build. They destroy. That's why they ain't shit in Europe. That's why they ain't got no history in Europe. That's why they got to make shit up. That's why they're jealous of us, because they spend so much time killing each other, destroying each other, raping each other, being anti-nature and anti-intellectual, that they've never had an opportunity or the time to build anything. But us, you have absolutely no idea how great we are. Right now, as we speak, information-wise, we are sitting at the bottom of Kilimanjaro. We're at the bottom of it right now, as far as information. We still got a long way to go before we can get to who we truly are as people in our heads. We are so great. We are so great. And we've done such great things. And them white people have done such a great job at destroying it. But that's okay. Because like our ancestors, we will rebuild. This ain't our first time doing it. We're going to do it again. And when we build this time, it's going to be bigger, better, and grander. And next time, them savage barbarians won't have the power to destroy anything. Anyway, that's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn some T-Tum. I'm out.
It's called the Wall of Benin. It's like one of the world's largest structures, but I've never known about it. And it was in Nigeria. It was the capital city, but they made interconnecting walls that stretched over 10,000 miles. And it was all man-made, and it was like the world's largest structure. But the British destroyed it in 1897.
Wow.
When they were colonizing it.
Lame.
But that's enough wall to circle the United States 3 times.
It says 4 times longer than the Great Wall of China.
How have I never heard of that?
That's what I'm saying. Even the people of Nigeria now, they don't even know about it. So like people are trying to like discover more about it to teach them of their ancient culture and stuff.
They started in 800 AD
Imperialism.
and continued until 1460 AD.
Yeah, they said it took 150 million man hours to build.
Very
Miles.
little remains today. How is that possible?
Because the British destroyed it.
All of it.
Imperialism.
Is that not insane?
That's crazy.
Yeah, never heard of it before.
With its mathematical layouts and earthworks longer than the Great Wall of China, Benin City was one of the best planned cities in the world. Welcome to the ancient city of Benin, Nigeria, where the echoes of history reverberate through time. Today we uncover the captivating story of the Great Wall of Benin. Built during the 13th century, the Great Benin Wall stands as a testament to the ingenuity and craftsmanship of the Edo people. Stretching over 19,000 kilometers, this architectural marvel serves as a formidable defense system for the Kingdom of Benin. The Guinness Book of Records 1974 edition describes the walls of Benin and its surrounding kingdoms as the world's largest earthworks carried out prior to the mechanical era. Behind these fortified walls, a thriving civilization flourished. The kingdom was legendary for its rich cultural heritage, intricate bronze earthworks, and a sophisticated administrative system. Trade flourished within the kingdom as the walls provided security for the famous Benin brass and ivory trade route. Today, the Great Benin Wall stands as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a living testament to the resilience and grandeur of the ancient Benin Kingdom.
Were you aware that the greatest single man-made structure ever built resides in Africa, and it's not the Great Pyramid of Giza? Ranging in height from 3 to 20 meters, the Wall of Benin, also known as the Great Wall of Africa, stretched for almost 10,000 miles in length, making it in its entirety long enough to extend around the perimeter of the USA, with over 1,000 miles of wall to spare, often extending above the treetops of around 2,500 square miles of land in southern Nigeria. To the locals, the Great Wall was known as Iya. Its construction required over 9.1 billion cubic feet of material to construct. However, like the Great Wall of China, the Iya was not a single wall, but rather a joint series of earthen ramparts and moats that utilized indigenous African methods of construction. It required over 150 million man-hours and an estimated 800 years to complete.
It's called the Wall of Benin, and it's like one of the world's largest structures. But I've never known about it, and it was in Nigeria. It was the capital city, but they made interconnecting walls that stretched over 10,000 miles, and it was all man-made, and it was like the world's largest structure. But the British destroyed it in 1897 when they were colonizing it.
Lame.
But that's enough wall to circle the United States 3 times.
It says 4 times longer than the Great Wall of China.
How have I never heard of that?
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, we gotta dig into
Like
that.
even the people of Nigeria now, they don't even know about it. So like people are trying to like discover more about it to teach them of their ancient culture and stuff.
It started in 800 AD
Imperialism.
and continued until 1460 AD.
Yeah, they said it took 150 million man hours to build.
But
10,000 miles.
Very
long.
little remains today. How is that possible?
Because the British destroyed it.
All of it.
Imperialism.
That just seems like more effort to destroy 10,000 miles worth of wall
For real, though.
than just leave it.
It's
Yeah,
the
just
Guinness.
walk around it.
It's the Guinness Book of World Records, world's largest man-made structure by length.
Is that not insane?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We get to Western Central Africa. This is the heart of where Africans were supposed to display their innate inferiority, because this is where most of the enslaved Africans enslaved in the Americas were taken from. And what do we have here? In 1668, a Dutchman called Olfert de Poor traveled around Central and Western Africa, and he drew some pictures. This is a picture from what today would be Nigeria, the Kingdom of Benin. In 1668, you can see the procession of the king. You can see multi-story buildings in the background. If you look really closely, even though it's quite small for some of you at the back, you can see the city in the background. It has a wall around the outside of it. This wall, the Great Wall of Benin, is in the Guinness Book of World Records, 1974 edition, as the largest earthworks carried out prior to the mechanical era. It's estimated that the wall at its height may have been as much as 10,000 miles of walling. I didn't start or make a mistake. Go and take up the beef with the archaeologists.
Wait. Before you go, for all my subscribers and philanthropists out there, I'm building a solar power community water bowl system in Nigeria. It's going to cost between $5,000 and $6,000. I'm trying to raise money. If you want to participate and help me build this solar power water system, please donate to the Cash App and put solar water in the notes. Solar water in the notes. I'll put PayPal, Stripe, and Zelle. Anyway, thank you. That's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out. Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.